How happy the soldier who lives on his pay and spends half a crown out of sixpence a day, yet fears neither justices, warrants, nor bums, but pays all his debts with a roll of his drums. With a rowdy-dow, rowdy-dow, rowdy-dow-dow, and he pays all his debts with a roll of his drums. He cares not a monody how the world goes. His king finds his quarters, his money and clothes. He laughs at all sorrow whenever it comes, and he rattles away with a roll of his drums. With a rowdy-dow, rowdy-dow, rowdy-dow-dow, and he pays all his debts with a roll of his drums. The drum is his glory, his joy, his delight. It leads him to pleasure as well as to fight. No girl when she hears it, though ever so glum, but packs up her tatters and follows the drum. With a rowdy-dow, rowdy-dow, rowdy-dow-dow, and packs up her tatters and follows the drum.
Get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Hear them calling you and me, every son of liberty. Hurry right away, no delay, go today. Make your daddy glad to have had such a lad. Tell your sweetheart not to pine, to be proud her boys in line. Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming, the drums rum-tumming everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over, over there, over there, over there. Send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming, the drums rum-tumming everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over, over there.
If we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
Ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
Half a shot before you do what I call nasty.
I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves were possessing weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth. I remember that with that smoke. We are still here!
We have to say yes to social justice.
No. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
All right. Where am I? Here we go. This is me. Hello. Welcome to the least comfortable show on the internet. It's The System is Down, where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, and a whole lot of libertarian bullshit. I am joined, as always, by the late, great Dave Casey. Dave, how are you, sir?
What up? I'm doing good, considering the dark days are upon us, bro. I'm actually, pretty sunny side up, though.
Yeah, dark days are upon us, and the world is ending any day now, so that's why I got married yesterday. That's just a fun way to start off the show. But, that's... Just did it. Just did. She'll be in the chats later. I'm sure it'll come up. But I got to remind you guys. What's
baby,
that?
hop in the chat. Sweet honeymoon, baby. Hop in the chats and support your husband.
Get in. We're going for a podcast. But I have to, before I do anything else, need to thank you all in the Downers Club. People like No Tread, Zachary Tatum, Trashman, Abrogate, D's, Jennifer H, RJJC, Justin Savoy, Perry Nord, Bonnie Jeffers, Andrew Chatteron, Break the Bell, Zareth something, Van Zott Media, Stefan Hartman, Javari, Craig DaCosta, Anthony Meyer, Tim Brown, Howie Snowden, John, Justin, William, and a whole bunch of others. If you want to get your name on that list and have it read incorrectly someday, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down, where you'll not only get your name read incorrectly, but you'll also support this show and get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more content like the after parties, including the one that we're going to do today on the proudest of all months. So stay tuned for that and go support if you want to hear our thoughts on some things that are too spicy for the public to hear. Patreon.com/The System Is Down. And back to us. Dave, how's your week been? Anything new?
Really good. Just done a couple. Brought the podcast back, bro. Done with the Rechtenwald work, so I have a little bit of Liberty bandwidth to contribute. So I brought that back. So that was fun. We had a couple. I invited a bunch of dudes and a bunch of girls. Or actually, I just invited everybody.
Except me. Turns out.
You know what? I feel, bro, inviting you on my show is people are going to be like, what the fuck are you guys just doing a revolving door here? You're right. I should have.
Dave and Alice do it all the time.
You're right. I should do it. I'm going to start doing it more because the only people that hit me up are women. There's no men stepping up to do this work. They all flake out and the ladies show up.
Bitches.
So we had Hannah. We had Hannah. They are bitches. We had Hannah on from Colorado and that lady Liberty from Australia who's here. Sightseeing, doing some Liberty shit, and it was fun. Nice. We talked about we did a post-mortem on the convention.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. There's been so many podcasts that have come out. We're going to be talking about, obviously, Dave Smith and Chris Cuomo's debate, and Angela McArdle just went on Malice and said a bunch of things. We'll talk a little bit about some of that, too. There's been so much good podcast content in the Liberty space with all the drama going on. It's hard to keep up, but yeah, Dave, yours is definitely on my to-listen list, and I'll check that out very soon. Glad to have you back for a hot minute, and we'll see how long it lasts.
It's going to be quarterly. If there's four podcasts per year, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm shooting for.
It's dedication, my man.
Thank you.
I like it. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of news, and there's a lot to get to, so we're just going to jump right on into it. Do you remember the time when the world was all locked down and COVID and stuff? Do you remember COVID? Social distancing, 6 feet, masks.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hate your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Killing grandma. All those fun things.
Yeah. Non-essential. I got it.
Yeah. Well, would it surprise you to find out that when pressed on the matter, Dr. Anthony Fauci admitted that he made up COVID social distancing measures and mask rules? I'm sure that's just the beginning of things to come as far as what he did make up, but let's start there. Testimony from Dr. Anthony Fauci has revealed that his 6-foot social distancing rules and mask protocols were made up and sort of just appeared, as you do. Now, there's a bunch of fluff here. Let's get down to the actual stuff. At the time, he told the council that he believed the theory that COVID began with a leak at the Wuhan Institute. According to committee transcripts, when pressed on how the rule came about, the Daily Mail reported, quote, "I think people have made conspiracy aspects from it," he said, adding, "It could be a lab leak." So it could be, but, these crazy conspiracy theorists are saying it is. It could be, but we can't say that it is, and that's crazy to say that it is. Even if all the evidence points to that. He says, or it says here, also shocking was that he admitted to the council that he didn't remember how the 6-foot social distancing rules came, where they came from. He says, I don't recall. It sort of just appeared, he said. Fauci added he was not aware of studies that supported the social distancing, conceding that such studies would be very difficult to do. He also told the committee council that he didn't remember reading anything to support that masking kids would prevent COVID. Quote, "Do you recall reviewing any studies or data supporting masking for children?" he was asked, to which he responded, I might have, but I don't recall specifically that I did. I forget my Fauci voice because it's been so long since I've had to listen to his voice, but something to that effect. So, social distancing, masking children, and God knows what else. I don't know where it came from. It wasn't my idea. If it was a bad idea, it wasn't my idea. If it worked perfectly, then it was, and you have to do it. Dave, what thoughts?
I don't know where I heard the idea from. It sounded good.
Thank you for refreshing my memory. I appreciate it.
That's about as good as it gets for me. But wow, yeah, of course. And it's funny, this guy is not a lawyer, but he knows the legalese very well. I could have seen it. I don't know if I did. If I did, I can't recall that I saw it. If I ever did, perhaps.
It might be in a folder on my laptop titled Taxes 2022, but I don't remember where it came from. Like, it's so...
This just goes to reinforce what I've been saying. It's one of the things you have to unlearn. Like, you should, in fact, judge a book by its cover. Look at that guy's fucking face, listen to his voice, look at his track record, and go, oh, shit, like, that's an absolute demon. And, you know, there's no reason to trust that guy at all. Listen to your gut, baby.
Absolutely. Now, just made it up, which probably destroyed, you know, lives and children's emotional development and all that, but it just came from somewhere because. And, like, it's one thing to be authoritarian with a cause. It's another thing to just be an authoritarian who makes up rules and regulations. Like, zero backing, I can't believe that he went into this and didn't have some sort of lie. You got nothing? It's been years, man. You couldn't come up with some explanation as to where this came from, some sort of, I don't know, scientific jargon that would make us all just drift off. But the answer was, I have no idea. I don't know why I said it. Don't know where it came from, but it happened for 4 years straight. It's baffling. Not that he lied. We all knew that he lied. It's baffling that he can't keep it up. That he lost his mojo.
And it should, like, first of all, it's not illegal to lie. And it's not even illegal for politicians to lie. But it's crazy that policy gets crafted based on lies.
Yeah,
that's really insane. And they all have plausible deniability. You know, the guy leading the charge is now retired after a 50-year government career, and all he has to do is go, I don't recall.
Yep.
That's it.
It's fine. I'm old and tired. Like, it's Joe Biden when they tried prosecuting him, and they're like, well, he's not mentally capable to stand trial. It's like, so that's what we're going with.
Yeah, except Trump possibility of going down, but I've never seen a bad guy go down, so I'm not waiting for that.
Well, yeah, just the level of brazen. We're just gonna go with I don't know, whatever. And Biden, whatever, it's fine. He's old. I don't know. It's amazing. But speaking of dinosaurs who were wrong on everything, let's go ahead and just jump into the Chris Cuomo versus Dave Smith debate. Did you catch it, Dave?
I missed the last 20 minutes, but yeah, I saw the majority of this.
Well, it was like 3 hours and 20 minutes long. So
no, I was not ready for that. It was a commitment at whatever 8 o'clock at night or something.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be 3 hours because they had announced that it was like 7 to 9 or whatever, 6 to 9, and yeah. But then by the end of the 3 hours, I was like, all right, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's go. Yeah, probably could have just cut out the entire half-hour segment where they talked about Donald Trump and the court thing. I know it's important, but I don't frankly give a shit what Chris Cuomo's take on modern stuff is. I want to hear him explain his shit from the past, but he did for about 3 hours. What'd you think of what you saw, Dave?
So obviously, I'm super grateful for the platform. So thank you to Patrick Bet-David, who provided that and who hired Chris Cuomo. I guess I have to thank him for that, because then he owns the guy and can kind of maybe force him to do some shit like that, which I can only hope that this is some PBD 4D chess where where he owns this guy and he is parading him around like a bitch, which is good, but we should not be rehabilitating lockdowners unless it's the idiocracy form of rehabilitation. That kind of rehabilitation is fine.
I mean, if Cuomo wants to rehabilitate and accept blame for anything, Like his ability to avoid any sort of blame or any apology or anything in this entire 3-hour thing was quite impressive. But yeah, if he wants to rehab himself and be like, I was wrong, here's where I was wrong, and it's actually honest instead of what we got here, I'm fine with that. Yeah. But we didn't get that. We got just lie upon lie.
Yes, we did for 3 hours. PBD hit him with some fucking with the shrink stuff though. He's like, you know what though? Kind of seeing that you're like following the Trump pattern here, where like you don't apologize for anything because that's like what a macho dude would do or something. That's kind of like looks like you're copying Trump a little bit when you think about that. I was like, that's exactly what that guy's fucking doing. Just not as well, and you know he's getting raked in front of all these people, and Dave's just dragging him for hours on end. But it was still, I'm grateful for it. I want to see more of it. It was great because it was like 3 days after the convention, which was a total drag. And then to see like, okay, well, what really matters though? Like what really drives the message home? Like, is the Libertarian Party presidential ticket the end of like, you know, the movement? Obviously not. Like we're, you know, shit's popping right now, but so yeah, super cool.
Yeah. And you mentioned the 4D chess thing. The whole time I was just kind of like, did PBD do this on purpose? Or I mean, even if he didn't, even if he's just an honest dude who's like, you know, obviously the truth is this, he was definitely more on Dave Smith's side. Like they were pulling up clips upon clips upon clips, just burying Cuomo, just burying Cuomo, and Cuomo's their guy, their employee basically. And yeah, I think it's brilliant if PBD wanted to hire this guy out of good faith, even thinking, you know, maybe he will come around, and he's starting to come around. But then when, you know, it comes down to it, the truth is this, and you cannot, you got nothing. He had absolutely nothing in the entire debate, and it was quite beautiful to watch. And we've got some clips that we're going to play. But yeah, good on PBD, not for hiring him, but kind of for hiring him, because we wouldn't have this situation otherwise. And it played out quite beautifully. This was like date night for me and Kate. We had this on our calendar, planning to sit down for 3 hours. My son joined us too, and he didn't quite enjoy it nearly as much as we did, but we did yell at our TV a lot, and perhaps some of you will understand why. Here we go.
There was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like it. You did it. No.
That was you.
Dude, find the clips. You shamed Joe Rogan.
I don't feel good that I was so mean to Joe Rogan. Well, yeah. It's amazing that Cuomo thinks that he can lie his way out of this. It's amazing that Cuomo thought that he could sit down for 3 hours. Good on him for just eating shit for 3 hours and being the only person willing to do it. Because as Dave points out at one point, you're all we've got. You are the only person willing to step forward and continue, like, pretend like you're not lying, but keep lying. But at least we got you in the hot seat. So good on you for that. But yeah.
You said he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each other about it. I'll go find the clip.
First of all, you just saw the clips. I'm not chuckling. I'm listening to Don. But
no. The clip I'm talking about wasn't on there, and it's absolutely there. Here, do we have it? Hold on. Let's play the clip. Go ahead.
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. What person? You know, you talk about, like, you know, cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer, really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's what it is.
They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now.
This
Chris, you can't apologize.
He's on it, dude. He's on the drug.
He is on it currently, and it's like it's almost like he started taking ivermectin just so that he could have this quasi non-apology tour where he's like, I'm cool now. See, I'm taking the horse dewormer just like all the cool kids are. And it's not going in his favor because the internet doesn't forget all the times he called it horse dewormer.
Bro, are you with me that, like, and I'm not even saying that this would do it, but his only chance is to apologize. Like, that's the only, to grovel if you have to. Like, that's your only chance to get like let back into the club, you know, quote unquote, I think.
Yeah, at some point when, like, I understand there's the whole never apologize when it's like mob mentality. I know that this kind of is mob mentality, but it's very justified mob mentality because it's calling you on direct lies that we can prove that you're lying about currently in front of us in real time on the stage. You can't apologize for that. I understand if it's like you had a tweet that was dug up from 10 years ago where you said fag. Yeah. Now you need to be canceled retroactively. Yeah, don't apologize for that. And that there's kind of that mentality that he's playing off of, but it's like, bro, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the lives you ruined and the flagrant lies that we have caught you in here. And all he's got is, I'm not going to apologize. I never apologize. And his justification, I don't know if it's in one of these clips here, but his justification is like, no, I'm not going to apologize because an apology, it's like some word salad of like, I didn't do anything that I knew was wrong intentionally, and also like there's a bunch of different I don't know, like qualifiers. I'm not going to because this is what is required for an apology, and I didn't do any of those things. I was just an honest dummy.
Dude, I think this is the same. Like, it's literally no wonder there's a revolving door between like the corporate press and, you know, the White House, you know, press secretary and stuff like that, and politicians in general, because like, this is the kind of sociopath that they seek out. Like, he can literally, he's looking Dave in the face. He's looking the people in the audience in the face as he lies to them in real time.
Right.
And can do it for hours. Like this, if this was an audition and you're the deep state, you might be going, you know what? This guy would fucking do anything.
Yeah.
He's that much of
feels like he's auditioning for a nice cushy job at CNN again. Like he's still playing the same game, no matter, even if he's slightly more on, like, I don't even want to say honest, but slightly like coming to the side of truth or pretending, it's still, he's playing the CNN game. And it's,
dude, I wonder if it's the side of truth or just what's popular today. He's a fart in the wind. You know what I mean? Like, whatever is, hey, this guy hired me, so now I'm like on this tip and I get to say these things. Right. And this is the Overton window in which I operate.
Or it's coming out that Fauci made up rules and all of this is bullshit. So I guess I'll have to kind of dip my toe in the not corporate propaganda water.
Right.
It's like the cool kids are being honest now. So I guess I'm gonna go this way before I get caught up in
fellow truth tellers.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
For that, you weren't being clear that it was this, and you know that, dude. You're being so dishonest right now, man.
I'm not being dishonest.
Talking about ivermectin, the drug. You were not talking about this version of ivermectin. Come on. Joe Rogan is bigger than every single show at CNN combined and gets paid more than every single person at CNN combined. And he was 100% right about this thing through the entire time.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he
wasn't.
Hold on a lot. Okay. Hold on. Let me get this point out here.
Tell me what he was right about.
Okay. How about, you know what you just revealed last month on Pat's show about ivermectin?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was saying that, and you were smearing him for saying that.
Yeah.
You literally said he's taking horse dewormer.
Yes.
He should be ashamed of himself. You pleaded with your audience to not take it.
Yes.
Then you come back around and you go, hey, Pat, you know what I just found out? Turns out this thing isn't for animals. Turns out humans are. But Chris, that's a 5-minute Google search and you would have known that.
First of all,
how do you not apologize to Joe Rogan?
Listen, so why was there a rush?
I don't like this clip as much because it doesn't. Cuomo. I would prefer the clips that have Cuomo's responses because it makes it even worse than Dave piling on. But I've got a couple more here. You got any thoughts on that before we jump into the next one, Dave?
Nah, cruise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which was just completely untrue.
Yeah, okay. So, to take on what you just said, no, not everyone, and not everyone who gets paid. Joe Rogan is bigger than every single show at CNN combined and gets paid more than every single person at CNN combined. And he was 100% right about this thing through the entire time.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he wasn't. Hold on a lot.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get this point out here.
Tell me what he was right about.
Okay. How about, you know what you just revealed last month on Pat's show about ivermectin?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was saying that, and you were smearing him for saying that.
Yeah.
You literally said he's taking horse dewormer.
Yes.
He should be ashamed of himself. You pleaded with your audience to not take it.
Yes.
Then you come back around and you go, hey, Pat, you know what?
While he's saying that, Cuomo was just like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did that. Yep, piece of shit.
Correct.
Yep, go on. Hold on. I'll, at the end, I'll say, whoops, and it'll be fine. Like, all these atrocities that Dave is listing, he's just like, yeah, I did that. Such a beautiful moment.
Your audience to not take it.
Yes.
Then you come back around and you go, hey, Pat, you know what I just found out? Turns out this thing isn't for animals. Turns out humans are. But Chris, that's a 5-minute Google search and you would have known that.
First of all,
how do you not apologize to Joe Rogan?
Listen, do you know who disagrees with you? Do you know who disagrees with you? The people who make ivermectin disagree with you.
Hold on. What do they disagree with me about? That
the drug should not be taken as a standalone for COVID-19.
I never said it should.
That's what Rogan was saying.
No. He did not.
That's slick. That's real slick right there. And when I first saw Cuomo, like he did an interview on PBD before he got hired. They brought him on and interviewed him, and the whole time I was just like my mouth was agape because I was impressed by his slickness to just on a dime spin it into something that he can explain. And right there he's like, well, no, what I said was that ivermectin isn't the cure-all, basically. And obviously you were saying that, and Joe Rogan was like, just his ability to slip it in there, I can't even regurgitate the slickness that he just did there. But good on Dave Smith for catching that, because the dude is crafty.
Quick pivot.
No, listen. See, this is the thing, Chris. That is a lie. That is a blatant lie. Joe Rogan. So you just pretended that I said it's a standalone for COVID. No. Here's what it always was. Here's what Joe Rogan said. My doctor prescribed it to me, along with several other medications, just like your doctor prescribed it to you. That's what he said. What I'm saying is that it's not horse dewormer, as you and everybody else at CNN mindlessly repeated.
Now,
what he said, no, let me finish. What he said, and what I'm saying is that it is.
I just love watching the body language of Chris Cuomo during this entire thing. He's just like, this guy, this fucking guy over here, fuck this guy. Like, that's all you've got. It's just like, man, shit. Like, still a smug bastard about it, but eating shit the entire time.
He's not sorry. That's why he won't say it, because he's not.
Yeah.
Is a medicine that's been prescribed to people millions and I think billions of times. And it was totally demonized. Why? You already said why. You said it 2 years too late, but you already said why.
Here's
because
why.
No one owned it.
Here's why. What Pat has on his desk right now, you do not want to take, okay? It is the veterinary grade.
Here's another spin.
Ivermectin. People were so desperate to get it because they were told it was a panacea. It was a cure-all.
By who? Who told them that?
It was online.
Well, you just claimed Joe Rogan.
It was online. Somebody said it once, or at least I heard that from somebody that somebody said it once. Yeah. So ergo, you're bad.
This is one of the most despicable parts of this, and like really highlights how disgusting the corporate press is. Like, he's totally lying, and as if he's saying like, oh, there were reports on the internet of people doing this, so of course we had to use the full force and power of the entire media industrial complex to let people know that people on the internet were saying these things. So that's why we were doing it. We wanted you to be safe. This was an effort for transparency and in medical safety. We were doing that for you. Amazing, bro.
And the ability of the spin here, because do you know who didn't say that, as Dave is clearly screaming? Joe Rogan didn't say that. Dave Smith didn't say that. But that's where this whole conversation started, and he's got it down to, like, I didn't say that. Okay, if I did say it, it was because it was the cure-all. And if you didn't say that, then I was talking about the actual horse dewormer, the veterinary grade medicine. Oh, if I didn't say it, like, it's just lie after lie. It's amazing. There should be studies on Chris Cuomo's ability to just weasel his way around any sort of responsibility in any conversation.
Yeah, he went to the Joe Biden school of bullshit.
That's right.
You said it. You claimed I said it. Neither of us have said that.
But so hold on. So why was there a rush on ivermectin all of a sudden?
Can I tell you my honest opinion about that? Okay, it's that the medical establishment and the corporate media so humiliated themselves that they lost trust with the entire American people. And then, yeah, there were some charlatans online who were saying, "Oh, go take this," and
Dave,
they trusted
please. Here's what happened.
Okay? If you think Joe Rogan said, "Take any form of ivermectin you can get, and you'll never get COVID,"
I'm not blaming Rogan. Here's what happened. Again,
verbatim, I'm pretty sure what Joe Rogan said was, I'm rich, motherfucker. I don't need horse medicine. Yeah, we've got to think one more here, and we won't spend too much more time on this because, again, 3 hours.
It's historic, though.
Yeah, we're playing like 9 to 10 minutes of this thing. I would highly recommend everybody go watch the entire 3.5 hour thing because it's amazing, and I have listened to it. The other day I was cleaning out my garage, listened to it again, because that's the level of dedication I have to nerd shit. But it's quite fascinating, and as you mentioned earlier, this is bigger than anybody who is or isn't running for president on the Libertarian ticket, or anybody who was or wasn't running for president on the Libertarian ticket. If Dave Smith was running for president, this might not have happened. We don't know. It might have happened exactly the same, but anything that is happening in the political sphere, as far as at least the candidates are concerned, maybe not with Ross Ulbricht and Angela McArdle, Donald Trump agreements and such, that's obviously bigger. But as far as anything that any of the presidential candidates are doing or vice presidential, this is huge. This is bigger than anything that most journalists are doing. Like, who else is sitting down with Chris Cuomo and just fucking grilling him with actual facts and knowledge? Nobody is doing that, and it's beyond me how it took until June 2024 for us to actually have a conversation and get one of these motherfuckers to sit down and explain themselves. And it's quite beautiful that's happening at the same time that Fauci is having to sit down and explain himself. So, yeah. All right. One more. Here we go.
You too, with a much better track record, Chris. I'm just being honest. This is the truth.
Again, we can look at the data. You can put the data up. I mean, this is what I do. But what I'm saying is this. This
is what I do too, with a much better track record, Chris.
I don't
I'm just
know
being honest. This is the truth.
I don't know that you have a better track.
As a comedian with a podcast, this is what I do better than you, journalist at CNN, motherfucker.
I really don't know that you have a better track.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Right.
Do you think lockdowns worked? Did they cause more harm than good? By the way, there was no good that was caused.
Oh, this is another.
He
another
knows
slick
the
one.
answer to this.
Yeah, this is another slick one. Just watch his answer. It's amazing.
Do you think they caused more harm than good?
The correct answer is you can look again. I wish these things were that simple.
Look, okay.
I can argue yes. I can argue no. The government will say yes.
No, but I'm asking you.
The people who are in charge, Robert Redfield, will say yes.
Do you think that lockdowns mitigated the virus and were not offset by the catastrophic harm that lockdowns caused?
That's a different question, and that's hard to know. It costs so much pain in this country that it's hard to say. How do you value what they believe was saved in terms of lives?
Go look at the Johns Hopkins study on lockdowns. They looked at all the lockdown areas versus the areas that didn't lock down. They found no difference in mitigating the virus.
One thing that I noticed throughout this entire debate was Cuomo often comes back to, well, the people who came up or who came to these conclusions stand by their conclusions. Yeah. It's their job.
The government, it worked great.
The liars are continuing to lie, so that means the lie's true. Duh.
Oh man, dude, you know what? My hatred for him, I don't use that word lightly, but
yeah,
it's growing, and I think it's appropriate. I'll just say that. Like, I can't really say what I think really about Chris Cuomo on the internet.
I appreciate you saving it for your channel at least, but yeah, Fauci. I don't know. Fauci getting grilled at the same time. It's beautiful. Cuomo being like, the people who believe these things still believe them, so it's true. And it's like, well, not even Fauci can back up the very broad sweeping like rulings of you can't stand close to people. That was fabricated, and he can't even back that up. But sure.
6 feet sounded pretty good. 6 feet. Come
on. Who knows? Yeah. Just coincidentally happens to be 6 feet, maybe 6 inches and 6 centimeters as well.
Oh, darn.
It was just the disaster. And I was against the lockdowns from the very beginning. I was against the ridiculous outdoor mask wearing. I was against all of the mandates, all of people being deemed non-essential, all of this stuff.
I get it. But it wasn't just America. You make it sound like,
I'm against it everywhere.
But what I'm saying is, but it matters that it happened everywhere. It matters, and it happened in other places.
PBD cracking up.
That's a great.
Yeah, look at Sweden. How'd it work out for them?
That should be a meme.
What? Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Sweden, by the way, here's how it worked out for Sweden. Lowest excess mortality rate in all of Europe. That's how it worked out for Sweden.
They had rates of illness in there.
Yes.
And then they didn't build up the herd immunity they thought they were going to by going that way.
Okay,
and the UK wound up watching them and reversing course.
And why is it that Sweden has the lowest excess mortality rate in all of Europe? Because of all of the deaths that were caused by the lockdowns. That's why. They were the ones who didn't do that to themselves. And man, I mean, you look at, Pat brought up the number of small businesses that were ruined during the lockdowns. That's the least of it. And that's huge. I'm not trying to downplay that at all. But you're talking about suicides, families breaking up, children falling behind, just things that people will never, and not just that, but also just, look, here's the thing, right? And this is what I think the media class never really grapples with. If I were to ask you, what was the cost of the war in Iraq? Okay? What was the cost of it? Now, you might try to find...
All right, that's probably enough. Got any thoughts on that, Dave?
Gratitude,
other than,
bro.
Yes, other than just a magnitude of praise and thank you, Dave Smith.
Yeah, that's really it. And we'll get there. I know. I'm just like, bro, I wouldn't have expected things, man. Like there's a balance to things, and sometimes when you really like strike the bottom there, or like hit rock bottom, as they might say, then like there's like this weird awakening that happens.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This is just I'm grateful for all of it. Like you said, the Fauci stuff. This, I want to see more of it. I hope that more lockdowners put themselves up on the chopping block for Dave and other people. And
why would they? I mean, why would Rachel Maddow come out and be like, "Hey, I'll take the axe as well"? They have nothing to run on, which is why it's a miracle that Chris Cuomo. If Chris Cuomo was not working for PBD, this would not have happened. I don't think he would have just done this on his own accord. Other than it would look bad for him to be working for PBD and turn down a debate between him and some random comedian on his own network. Just that's a bad. I'm not sure if that's a worse look, but it's a bad look.
I don't know who's doing it, but somebody needs to be out there in Washington or New York and putting microphones in these people's face, like Alex Stein. Like he done it with AOC and some other people, and it's been hilarious and effective. And lockdowners should answer questions whether they feel like it or not.
Yeah.
If you're a corporate, mockingbird media talking head, like you should have to answer for your own contributions to this shit.
Right. Now, following the debate, there was a poll where PBD asked, "Who do you think won today's debate?" And Dave Smith, by a slim margin of 95.6% versus 4.4%. Guess who got which? Dave Smith won. Dave's shockingly enough. And Dave pointed out on his episode the other day, and I don't disagree with him. I feel like even the 4.4% is a little high, because I can't imagine even being a stone cold lockdowner listening to this debate and coming away from it thinking that Chris Cuomo won that debate.
Well, we should definitely stop calling it a debate, because I don't even think that's what it's debate in name only. It's a dino.
It was a rape.
It's a fucking, I don't know what it is. A fucking, some kind of like,
it was
exercise.
A consensual rape.
Yeah,
he signed up for it.
Somebody lost bigly. But we should have more of that. I think just like in Idiocracy. Yeah. Rehabilitation. You should if you want a job in media, bro, you should have to go through rehab.
Amen.
That should be Dave Smith's new show. Fucking rehab these lockdowner fuckers.
Absolutely. I think we can move on. In fact, let's talk about some libertarian stuff. And I'm sorry to go there as the emo, but I got to bring up some emo news in the Libertarian Party from Dr. Michael Rechtenwald.
Imagine yourself in my position. Let's fucking go.
Just imagine yourself in my position. Do not, or no, don't. No, you don't need that grief, even if only imagined. I'm licking my wounds, but the wounds won't heal because I am also picking at them, tearing at them with my teeth and nails and opening deeper and more painful ones in the process.
This is great.
That's, I think, my best Michael Rectenwald impression yet.
That's pretty good.
I just gotta say, man, like, wrap it up, move along, stop it.
Yeah,
it's not helping.
I would say less is more, but also I'm glad.
And that's from a guy who writes like emo music and shit.
Yeah.
Oversharing is still a problem.
Ben Weir put that to music, and it's badass. But no, emo rec is really fun, and I'm glad to see my boy writing
Dark
again.
Rectenwald.
It's good. Yeah.
Slit the wrists of the regime.
What would you do in my position?
What would you do in my position? All right. That's all. Just thought it was worth a laugh. And I'm sorry. I know that it sucks and you're getting piled on, but this isn't going to help you not get piled on, my man. Like, just fade off and make your movie. He's making a movie now, right? A movie's being made off of his book or something.
Great Reset is being adapted by Decentralized Films, the motherfuckers that brought you Monopoly on Violence. So it's probably going to be badass. Yeah. Great.
And he's also sent out. I haven't read that deeply into them, but his online journal. I'm pretty sure. Have you caught any of that, Dave? Or you got any thoughts?
The Gummy Tales? No, man. I'm not. Maybe when I'm still healing from.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean to pick at your open wounds or anything.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
Never mind. But listen.
Anyway,
Yo,
sorry.
I
it's not
ate
a nice
the same,
show.
I ate the same gummy he did, but like 3 nights earlier on the way to DC, and I smoke weed all the time, and I was fucked up. So I am not surprised.
And you didn't warn him before he popped one before going on stage?
No, bro, I was not there for that, and I would have definitely done so. Yeah, that was a monstrous fuck up.
Yeah,
but
and clearly he knows, and he's picking out his own.
Yeah, he knows. He owned that one.
That doesn't mean it's not going to keep coming up, but just know there are things more embarrassing in the Libertarian Party these days.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Things work out. Look, I've been using this quote for 10 days now, bro, and it's fucking true. Elon Musk said the most ironic outcome is the most likely, and that has been repeating in my head because that's so funny. That's so funny that Rec was all in the lead for all these rounds, and like, look, the Block always, if Termata's going to team up with Chase and create a fucking gay cop alliance, then that's unstoppable, just numbers wise. But like, the margin was really close, really close. So I don't know. I'm sure Gummygate probably cost Rec.
It didn't help.
2 or 3 or 4. It did not help the sitch.
Libertarian as it may be, it did not help the Libertarian vote.
At the end of the day, we got the most hilarious, most awful candidates we could possibly ask for, which has been amazing, like a gift, right? So if you
Dave, that's a great segue into our next segment.
Do it.
And our new segment, brand new, right here, premiering. You just find out for yourself.
Chase,
yes.
Chase. C-H-A-S-E. Chase. Chase.
Oh, wait. We missed the ending there. Shit. Sorry. It's a new one. Let me play just the end.
Oh, this is so good.
Jason Cup. New segment on the show where we're just going to keep an eye on the Libertarian presidential and vice presidential candidates and keep you guys up to date on what's going on. No hate, no nothing, just all love here, baby. And Dave, I don't know if you noticed, but they've been up to some shenanigans. There was one kerfuffle that I find just as, if not infinitely more embarrassing than Gummygate, which is the hashtag Libertarian movement that was going around last week. Did you catch the Libertarian movement, Dave?
Of course, bro. This was a party. Yes.
Let's
these
go.
guys are bringing it. Let's fucking
go. Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, Mike Termott, immediately after getting the nomination for the Libertarian vice presidential candidate, somebody went and tried changing his name to Mike Termott, Libertarian vice presidential candidate on Twitter, and fucked it up. And it said Libertarian vice presidential candidate, the name of the party that you just won the candidacy for. Misspelled it. I don't know how. Apparently, or allegedly, it was autocorrect. I don't know how you autocorrect from a word to a not word and miss like 3 letters. But Libertarian, because he had the blue check mark, there was something to do with like. Well, we heard that it was being corrected. He got all of his top minds on the matter of figuring out how to spell libertarian. But the legitimate explanation was that they changed the name, and because of the blue check mark, if they change it again too quickly, they would lose the blue check or something to that effect. But whatever, who cares the reason? The glory that it brought me for the entire week, and I'll go through some of these quickly. The glory that it brought me from the week was that, Mike Termott, Libertarian vice presidential candidate, was all over the place.
No. Hey, bro, real
go ahead.
Before we go on, Libertarian is hilarious, and it will live on forever. But not only did he fuck that up, he's the vice president candidate. Like, who says it like that? I'm
vice
the vice
president candidate.
He couldn't even. He fucking blew his wad so fucking early on this. Oh my God, Libertarian!
Shaking. I am the Libertarian vice president candidate.
Thank God this fucking Fed will never actually see actual power, because he would exploit the shit out of it.
Yeah. So I kept sharing a bunch of things about the Libertarians, and so Chase Oliver fan club on Twitter at Chase_fan club said Termott's staff is currently fixing this, to which I quote tweeted, "How many Libertarians does it take to ... and to which they promptly blocked me. So good sports over there on the Termott Oliver team, and I don't know who runs the fan club or how deluded they are, but they were very angry that I shared such an offensive tweet as "How many Libertarians does it take to?" Okay, moving on. That's it.
So, wow.
The next day, Mike Termott, Libertarian vice president candidate, said it's being fixed by 2:30 a.m. and it was not. So right out the gate, just lying. Politician lying right off the bat about times and promising you things that you can't have, like spelling your party name correctly. And at some point I said, I don't know why, but I feel like there was the Libertarian thing, and I kept sharing a bunch of stuff that seemed like I was actually mad and spelling everything incorrectly, because that's what I do. But I said, I don't know why, but I feel like Mike Termott is going to rage quit the Libertarian Party any day now. You just watch. And it's true. He did. He rage quit the Libertarian Party as soon as he had the opportunity.
Yeah, but I don't understand. He could have quit the Libertarian Party immediately. You don't have to go to like customer service. What the fuck were they doing? All you have to do is edit the profile. That's it. Just go edit the profile.
Well, if they edited the profile, it would have taken away their blue check or something. And
oh my God.
We all know how important that is. It's much more important than coming out the gate spelling your name wrong.
Loser.
I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but Mike Termott, Libertarian vice president candidate, he's got AI working in his corner. He's got Lisa. He's got Lisa on his side. So I said, is it possible that hashtag Libertarian Gate is a Lisa-fueled Fed psyop for the sole purpose of maintaining my attention? If so, it worked. And it did. Because I'm not going to talk about anything else about Mike Termott today, because there hasn't been anything else. But for 2 days, straight. Nobody would shut up about Mike Tremont. And what have you heard about him since he figured out how to spell the name of his party?
Did you see his video about taxation being theft?
Send me that, Dave. I did see that you shared it, and
bro, it's at the top of his fucking page. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
All right, let's get it.
But it's just, I feel like the idea behind this one is, okay, I've offended everybody, so how do I offend no one and also put out content with my face in it?
Yep.
And that's what he did with this one.
I would like everybody to keep in mind that I, in no uncertain terms, profusely offered my services of video creation to people like Mike Tremont, who took it, who accepted it at one point. And now that we are the vice president candidate for the Libertarian Party, this is the quality that we're getting.
There's an old saying in the Libertarian Party that taxation is theft. The reason that we say this is because taxation is theft.
Oh my
There's an
God.
old saying.
That's it.
That's it. Beep, beep, beep. Y'all ready for that? There's an old saying in the Libertarian Party. First of all, motherfucker, I don't know if that came from the Libertarian Party. I'm pretty sure you don't know that either. Probably not, if I had to guess. And what's with the quotes? They call it theft. Well, yeah.
Oh, there's another one.
Quite literally.
I don't even know what this one is. Let's go ahead and just find out together, though. Same style, 19 seconds.
State consolidation. Yeah. The great battle of our time is between, on the one hand, a ruling class bent on the expansion of the state, consolidation of control, and centralization of authority, and on the other hand, us.
If you need a lawyer, call Oliver Tremont.
That's exactly what it feels like. Were you injured in an accident? Call the Libertarian Party. Us. Great. Keep going.
The most ironic outcome, dude. I could have envisioned, and I did, each one of them being the guy, but I didn't foresee the two. And it's hilarious.
It's amazing.
And it's amazing.
It's so amazing. I even took the risk of changing my own profile to Dan Smotz, Libertarian propagandist.
How many days did it take you to do that, bro? Did you get your best people on it?
I got all the libertarians that I could muster to rally around figuring out how in the world to pull this off, but I did, and I'm proud of it. I also made a very big announcement last week that I, Dan Smotz, am running for Libertarian president in 2025. That needs one of these. Or at least one of these. Now, 2025, as soon as the 2024 election wraps up, I will be running for president, and I will be kicking off that campaign for 2025, and I have many, many promises. If you have any questions about them, email me at dan@tsidpod.com or at tsidpod on Twitter and ask me all the questions you have for my candidacy, and I will answer them very honestly, such as I promise I will free Assange on day 2. I have sworn that, and I will stand by that. Day 2 of my presidency, I'm going to free him.
I think that's reasonable. You should take a day for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, nobody does any of the things they say they're going to do on day 1. At least I'm honest enough to say, yo, we're fucking partying, Dave and I, when we win in 2025. We're taking a day.
Called it. Hashtag endorsed. Vice.
I mean, if somebody wants to bring me some sort of executive order, I don't know how these things work, just bring it, and all I got to do is sign. I might while Dave and I are sipping martinis on the beach.
That's right.
But, yeah, day 2, I got you.
Day 2, I swear to God, I'll get to work, man. But day 1 is, got to take that for myself.
January 2nd, I'm pretty sure, is when that would be. Day 2 of the year 2025. Now, there was also some stuff that when I was, poking the bears and all those things, a nice man by the name of Mark Tuniewicz, opposer of security something or other, had some comments on some things. he said, because this was in response to me again offering Chase and Mike. He said, my offer still stands. If you want me to do anything, just let me know, basically. He responded with, I don't know who this guy is, but he said, I don't think tweet pressure is the way to close a deal, Dan. He clearly is not familiar with my work, because I've closed many deals, and I've closed many since this, just not that one. He says, I think your regular sidekick could be part of the problem. He would be for me. Why don't we talk about it? Oh, it's so nice of him.
So awesome. I love that so much.
Should I talk to him, Dave? Should I give him an ear? No, fuck that guy. I'll typically give anybody an ear, but if you're coming in, nobody, I don't know you, you clearly don't know me, and you're like, well, that guy your friend, I'm not going to say his name, but that friend of yours, maybe we should talk about him. Maybe we could pull you in. Maybe, this politics stuff we got over here. If you want some money, maybe you should kick your friends out of your life.
Yep. Grass is green over here at Oliver Termont, bro. You got to just ditch your sidekick.
Just laying it out there right out the gate before even having a conversation.
This is so great. This means we're doing good work, bro. That's what this means. I love it.
If he was like, yo, Dan, I want to talk to you about video stuff, and then he got me into a private conversation and was like, yo, Dave, I would still be like, fuck you. But like the brazenness to just be like, I think it's probably Dave's an asshole, and you should probably not like him anymore. You want to talk? Like, no, go fuck yourself. Kick rocks, man. To which I said, question, should I fire one of my best friends, Dave versus Goliath, to appease guilt by association politicians in a still very unlikely attempt to grift a buck?
Probably. It depends on the buck, but...
Sure. Yeah. We'll see how the rest of this episode goes.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah. And he also said, what in the world happened to you since all of your good work for Vermin Supreme, hanging with the Caucus Bros, just talking smack for smack's sake? The old you was fair and kind. Damn shame.
Now you're just a hateful bigot, bro.
Yep.
That's so funny. Like, I always talk about how nice you are, and like you do maintain relationships that, in my opinion, I would just I would discard.
Yeah.
But you're good with that. You're cool to people.
I'm like a businessman and a respectable human, Dave, unlike you.
That's what I'm saying. They don't know what they got. They don't know how good they have it.
But yeah, what has happened to me since Vermin Supreme's team, where I, got guilt by association canceled and blacklisted, like none of them wanted to work with me anymore. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's this kind of attitude where guilt by association. You have bad thoughts and talk to bad people with bad thoughts, therefore we cannot work with you. Okay, then don't work with me. Kick rocks. Get fucked. Yeah. I have not changed since the Vermin Supreme team, and I offered Chase my services, and there's a very strong chance that he's not going to be that interested, especially after some other things that have transpired since then. But in completely unrelated news, I did want to bring up Clint Russell released an ad. I don't understand where this came from or what it is. I'm not familiar with it at all. I've never even seen it, never heard of it. I know that I should be
brand new information.
I would never put my name on something like this because I am a wholesome, nice guy that will abandon my friends if the right people ask me to for the right amount of money. But Clint Russell put this out this week. Let's take a look.
Always been a libertarian. I'm always going to be a libertarian.
Yeah.
At the same time, when I was criticizing that party, I was also doing the work of door knocking and representing our party as a Senate candidate and running with our brand and putting our brand forward and putting my face on our brand.
The takeover failed.
Would you drop your kids off at a drag queen story hour and come back an hour later?
I mean, would you drop your kids off in a movie? Yeah.
We are just surrounded by such scumbag, duplicitous pieces of fucking shit. And all we're looking for is a little honesty.
It just so happens that Chase's positions comport perfectly with mainstream Democratic Party orthodoxy.
The Libertarian Party, with this move, in supporting open borders and vaccine mandates,
You done messed up, Aaron!
have just declared to the American people they are non-viable.
Puberty blockers and HRT have been shown to be mostly reversible. Don't try to twist it like I'm some sort of like Democrat who's like, everybody go out and get your COVID shot.
You're not gonna fucking win, brother.
Nah.
All I care about is the message and the messenger. Can you convey it in a way that can fucking reignite people's souls? I don't think you fucking can. Take that as a personal challenge.
I got in this party because I was an anti-war Democrat. Give the proof of concept to people that we can punish racists with the free market. I'm a gay man. If you're a homophobe, tell me about it so I don't have to associate with you.
If the Democrats were running Ron Paul, I'd be a Democrat. If the GOP runs Ron Paul, I'm a fucking Republican. If the Libertarian Party runs Ron Paul, I'm a Libertarian. I'm a fucking Ron Paulie. You get it?
I'm calling Reed Coverdell an asshole because he's not a libertarian.
I don't think Chase Oliver is the type of person that's going to get someone to go from, I'm a fucking woke DEI zombie, and now I'm going to start thinking for myself. In fact, I think the contrary. I think you're going to bring in more people that think like that, and then they're going to be maybe a little bit better on fucking economics. Golf clap, dude. And the GOP has ran around talking as if they're Ron Paul and then governing as if they're John McCain. I didn't get into this lying. I didn't get known by lying. I ain't gonna start lying ever. I'm fucking here to tell the truth. That's it. And let me be very fucking clear to the non-Mises Caucus folks that are listening right now. I don't care at all that he's gay.
And I have no doubts that this guy idolizes Joe McCarthy.
Chase. Chase. Chase.
Oh, man. What a segment. What a video. But really, I'm looking forward to many more.
I mean, somebody's got to report on these guys. Lord knows the mainstream media is probably going to ignore them. But, you know, we'll keep an eye out. And, you know, if they do something good, if they say something good, we'll try to bring that up too. We're not just dicks. But, I mean, being dicks is the most fun part when you're running a campaign such as this. But, yeah, if they come out and they're like, yeah, free Assange and we've got this and whatever, I don't care. Like, if you're right, you're right, and if you're wrong, you're wrong, and we're gonna call it like it is. Dave, any thoughts on that very that video by Clint, who definitely made it?
Bro, put it right here in my fucking veins. That's my thought on that video. Yeah, my instant thought is we shape the culture, and by we I mean you. But, you know, you're doing really good work.
You push me to be worse, Dave.
Yeah.
You're the Illuminati of the Illuminati of the Libertarian Party.
Yeah. I like to think that anyway. But, dude, seriously, that's what everybody needed 4 or 5 days after that shit. Really fired me up. It's the power of that shit, man.
And here's the thing. They could have hired me. And I would have still done the best work that I could for them. I wouldn't have negated my principles.
I hope that Clint getting in there so early scared them off for good. Because you shouldn't use your powers to serve evil, which that campaign absolutely serves. But we should use the LP as historically it has been like a cum dumpster for washed up corporatists and, shitty Republicans and things. But used for people for external purposes, all kinds of special interests. So let's use the LP for our own special interests. We will use this campaign, which is fucking hilarious. The LP will atone in the process for 50 years of being woke and ridiculous and unserious. And then maybe things someday will be cool. But read Rules for Radicals, man. There is never a fucking end to this shit. There's always a new plateau on that mountain. And, don't be a sunshine patriot. Just, fight for shit. Like make some fucking videos about this shit. That's
or
what
pay somebody to, hypothetically. Yeah. I know a guy. Now, seriously. We do have to give a shout out to the guy who's probably going to have to cover my ass when I get sued for all of this political nonsense. Lone Star Injury Attorneys. Have you or a loved one been injured by some fuck nuggets, reckless driving, a tumble at your shitty job, or some other form of dumb shit outside of your control? Well, fear not, because today's episode is sponsored by a lawyer. Lone Star Injury Attorneys is an award-winning personal injury law firm that achieves maximum results for its injured clients. Max the Axe is not just a lawyer, but a hardcore Mises Caucus libertarian and also a big supporter of this show and all of our bullshit. Max is the best personal injury lawyer in Texas, but don't judge him by his occupation or location. Max is an avid defender of liberty and justice in whatever state you got fucked in. If you've been injured and your ass needs saving, go with the pros at Lone Star Injury Attorneys. Visit LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com or Google Max the Axe. Consultations are free and you don't pay a single dime unless you win. Once again, go to LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com and get your ass covered. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we're going to move right along into a little bit more on the libertarian side of things because there's been a lot of controversy. Not quite as much as there was 2 weeks ago, but the controversy, or maybe the honesty, has escalated because the chair of our party has made her official endorsement announcement. And let's, oh no, this is not the right clip. That's the entire one. Well, shit. I pulled the wrong clip. Now, Dave, did you happen to catch Angela McArdle's anticipated endorsement announcements and or her conversations with Malice and that type of thing?
I saw the first 15 minutes of each one. Like you said, dude, there's too much content. So no, I haven't seen them in their entirety.
Yeah, I'm looking for the clip that all the angry people are sharing. This might be it. Let's see. It's only 2 minutes.
We talk about being a spoiler. A lot of people in the party who I don't necessarily agree with on everything ideologically really lean into the spoiler effect. And here we are doing the same thing, except I'd reframe it. We're not spoilers, we're fixers. We are fixing the Trump campaign. We are moving the Overton window in the direction of liberty. He came out and asked for our votes. He told us he was going to put a libertarian in a cabinet position. He said it publicly. It's not something that was told to me, behind the scenes. It was public. He said he was going to get rid of the Department of Education. And he said he was going to free Ross Ulbricht and a whole bunch of other stuff. He said there were not going to be any schools with vaccine mandates, like federally funded schools. He looked at our list of concerns, our top 10 list, and he talked about almost all of them. That's a huge win. It's a huge win. And we have to give people credit when we tell them this is what libertarians want, and they do it. People think I'm going to endorse Donald Trump. Well, I'm not. I haven't endorsed Donald Trump, but he has endorsed us. Donald Trump said he's going to put a libertarian in a cabinet position. He came out and spoke to us. He said he's a libertarian. He has basically endorsed us. And so in return, I endorse Chase Oliver as the best way to beat Joe Biden. Get in, loser. We are stopping Biden. I think we got to do everything we can to kick Joe Biden's ass. And one of the best ways to do that is to support Chase Oliver and go hard in the paint for him in blue states. I know.
That's some slick Cuomo shit right there.
Oh, it's like a total clown show thing. Well, I'm 100% here for that clown show. We got to do it. Gonna work.
I mean, she does need to work on her comedic timing, but we'll get there. She's getting better. She has vastly improved since the last go around.
Yeah, she has. She needs to buy a goddamn microphone. I can't believe that the LP chair doesn't have a mic.
Yeah.
We really need somebody. Please get her
a camera. Would be great too, and maybe a backdrop. I don't know. Yeah, something.
Now, you're getting greedy. I would love quality audio though.
Sure, it'd be a start.
Work very aggressively, specifically in blue states, to make sure he has the support that he needs from the national party. There are some red states who are very pissed off about it, and they think that the branding of this campaign is really going to hurt them. And I'm going to leave that up to them to decide how they deal with it. But I encourage people to try to use the Chase Oliver campaign to pull protest votes from the left. The data, and I have seen the data because we have a couple of people in the Libertarian Party who work at companies that do polling data. And they have sent me data privately, and I will be sharing some of it with the Ballot Access Committee or the Executive Committee tomorrow night confidentially.
So that's basically it. She did not endorse, and there's no rule that says she has to endorse the Libertarian presidential candidate as the Libertarian National Party's chair. What do you think about this strategy, Dave?
Again, more gratitude, dude. I'm glad that there's somebody at the helm who cares more about liberty than the Libertarian Party. David Nolan would be that way too.
Yeah.
That's what we should be focused on. And really, like, when you think about this stuff, I tweeted earlier, dude, a campaign, like I said, Donald Trump is dishonest. Like, thanks for your intrepid journalism skills there. Thank you for that. But the point being that a political promise, like a campaign promise from Donald Trump, is worth infinitely more than any campaign promise from Chase Oliver and Mike Tremont.
Yeah, even if he doesn't win, like whoever does win has that now that they're like, well, I guess I have to pander to that as well. Even if they're all full of shit, which they are since they're politicians, and there's a good chance they won't do any of them. But on the map, as far as, people who have the ability to some degree to win are fighting over us, are pushing for our talk points, are doing our job for us. So
not only that, dude, but I'm only speaking for myself here, but we really do have a serious question to ask. Like, I was counting on voting for the Libertarian ticket. I'm definitely not doing that. Like, definitely not doing that.
Sure.
So, and I'm not like fooling myself into thinking like, well, every vote counts and my vote's important and we vote with our whatever. I'm just like, it more like a signal than anything. But like, if that's true, that he made a promise on camera to a large group of people that he's going to free Ross on day one, as if that's not enough to make you do it. But he also wants to abolish the Department of Education. He also,
he was on Fox News saying that he wanted, like, it wasn't just him pandering to libertarians. He was on Fox News saying that he wanted to abolish the Department of Education as well. So he's sticking to it outside of even our little bubble that he popped into.
Yeah. So here we are, like, left with a real question. I live in a very blue state. So I guess I'll either tell my super liberal friends to go vote for Chase Oliver and then maybe everybody else go vote for Donald Trump. Wouldn't that be funny if he won Delaware? I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I live in a blue state also. I live in fucking Illinois and it's never turned red. I would still, if lefty friend came up to, if it was a lefty friend, I would probably tell them, hey, maybe take a look into Chase Oliver, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try and convince people to vote for Chase Oliver because I did that a little bit for Joe Jorgensen and I don't feel great about it. And if Spike Cohen wasn't on that ticket, I don't even know if I would have been doing it then.
Yeah, and in fact, dude, worst case scenario, I would hate to see, I'm saying this here, and this is the thing. These motherfuckers don't want to do work, but I would hate to see my local Libertarian Party get flooded with a bunch of Oliver Termott fan people. No furries allowed, bro. I'm just kidding. I guess they're welcome, but you got to do work. You got to, you got to be at the tent too.
You got to take the fuzzy tail butt plug out before you sit down at the convention. I'm sorry.
That's right.
We've got thorough lines. There's no litter boxes in the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Now, with Angela doing this, of course, pissed off a whole lot of people because obviously this is what they've been pushing for all along. No, it's not. We were pushing for Dave Smith all along, and you said then that it was just a Trump push, and then when Dave Smith bailed and RFK stepped in, you said that it was a push for, co-op for RFK, and that didn't come through. So now we're back to Trump, and obviously it's a push for that. And now it's like, okay, like bold on Angela for being willing to do this, being willing to be honest about this and be like, not my favorite candidate, but it still has value, still way more libertarian than both of them. He's more libertarian, but when it comes down to it, doesn't seem to be supporting. But at the same time, you're a tool, man. You're a tool in this machine, and if we can use you as a weapon against anybody who's anti-liberty, great. And if we can use you as a tool to push Republicans to be more libertarian, even better.
Yeah, and it just kind of dawned on me that Angela obviously has a healthy bit of I don't give a fuck attitude anymore.
Just
and
one.
I'm really
years.
excited about that.
Let's go.
And
right in the middle
go.
of that 2 years is an election. So I look forward to seeing what happens. I think it's exciting, and I think she's making the best of a situation where she disagrees with the candidate doesn't want to like shit on the candidate, but just, this is the best political strategy.
It's a fine line that I could not toe. I like to be firmly planted and, let my opinion be known. So I feel like, honestly, as soon as that happened, as soon as that became the thing, immediately I thought, like, oh my God, what a awful thing for you. Like you're screwed no matter what. If you promote this, you're screwed. If you don't, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But this is masterful, and I'm not surprised because she's been kicking ass lately, and a lot of gratitude.
Absolutely. We've got some fake super chats, which I've been ignoring a lot of the chats today because we've got a lot to get to. But Trashman said, fake super chat. I did see Angela say she was working on getting a mic. Well, maybe she can get Lisa or Mike Tremont's team of libertarians on it. And how many people does it take to order a microphone? Amazon.com is a great website if you're looking for any suggestions or recommendations on how to sound better. Buy a mic, Angela. Good work on all this nonsense. Buy a fucking microphone.
Yeah,
Chris,
seriously, $80. Seriously, real quick, $80. The difference between $80 and $1,000, you probably won't even notice the difference. But spend $80 on a mic and put it right up to your face. Get in there.
Absolutely. Or somebody send her one. I don't know. Somebody do something. Please help. Chris O says, fake super chat, incredibly savvy move from Angela. She gets to push support for Chase with this, and if Trump wins, she can hold him to his promise because the party helped him. Absolutely. And that's, at the end of the day, all that really matters is what you're actually changing, not what you're changing in your little bubble or, your little Liechtenstein bubble maybe, but in your tiny little political party that is now the fourth largest political party that got stepped down because somebody bigger just decided to run independent and didn't even think you were worth it. Whatever you can do with that left, by all means. And I would have been impressed if you could do anything with it at this point. And Angela is using it to still make some of the biggest moves the Libertarian Party has definitely ever seen since its inception. So good on her.
Listen, man, the more I think about it, and it's just hard to conceive of this, of Trump being the best possible case scenario. But if Trump is in office, that means you'll probably get Vivek somewhere in the cabinet, if not, probably not VP, but, God willing, he doesn't put like Marco Rubio or Nikki Haley in the vice position. You got less than 2 degrees of separation between people, Clint knows Vivek. That could be, that's a connection to the White House.
Right.
And
so
Angela, there could be
to some degree knows Trump.
Yes.
She's had conversations with the likely next president of the United States.
Right. So I feel like, I don't know, man, this thing with Chase and Tremont just might be the coolest thing that ever fucking happened to this party because it exposes the underbelly.
Sure.
As we're doing this, it's really quite interesting. I didn't see it coming, but the most ironic outcome is the most likely.
Yeah. I like it. I'm happy to see where it goes. Similarly to Joe Biden getting reelected, I don't want it, but if it were to happen, I would make the most of it. You damn know that's for sure. But it is. It's
you get one or the other. Joe Biden just pooped himself, and you're going to get one or the other.
Don't get ahead of me, Dave.
So I don't know.
But Angela's guy and Nikki Haley's guy, because we haven't mentioned Nikki Haley has stepped to endorse Donald Trump as well, and I don't really care to spend much more time on it than that. Pick me. I want to be your vice president, said Nikki Haley. I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote. But despite all of that, despite all of these endorsements, it did not keep Trump from, I'm pretty sure, going to jail. That's what happened, I think. Let's see some of the responses to the latest Trump convictions, because Trump is a 34 times felony hood status. Here's some responses. 34. That was in response to Donald Trump guilty. Trump becomes first former U.S. president convicted of felony crimes. Not the first who should have been, but the first to be convicted of felony crimes. Dave, got any thoughts on this Trump case that barely anybody seems to give a shit about at this point, even though he is 34 times guilty on these felony charges?
Well, obviously that chick was fucking insane and really, really flabby. And I want to assume that there may be like a chemical connection there between poisoning yourself and being mentally insane. But that's crazy. That there.
I just put it on that. Being Mexican.
Also very racist. But that's wild. I'm wondering though. I was thinking earlier today. I wonder what him having the charges will do to normal people, like even normal Republicans or maybe normal independents that would typically go to Trump. Like the people who didn't smoke weed, but once it was legal in their state, then they went and did.
Yeah,
those kind of people.
Yep.
I wonder if it'll have that.
Talking about boomers.
Definitely boomers. But this is like a way of life, a way of living that there's spans generations. So,
sure.
Boomers definitely guilty. But I mean, boomers, they're the evangelicals. If anybody's still going to stick with Trump, probably them. But
we'll talk about Trump and God in a minute. But it's tough. Because this goes back to like 2016 when they're like, stop making me defend Trump. Stop doing this bullshit. There's plenty of reasons to dislike Trump. But they're never the actual reasons to dislike Trump that people have the issue with. It's some sort of made up racism or sexism or something or other. It's like, how about the fucking war crimes, dude? Like, there's so many things that you could point to Trump being bad, but if they point to those things, then they have to point to Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, Jimmy Carter even as well for the same problems. But no, they got him on 34 things of like hush money, and I don't know. Does anybody even know at this point? We've gone through so many trials, so many sham trials, so many like fake mock impeachment, whatever trials and things we're pushing a decade now, guys, of trials on Trump. And now we've got it down to 34 things, and we know that it's absolutely certain that he did these 34 things, and I haven't heard a whole lot of people have any fucking clue what those 34 things are, and I could look into it and be a journalist, but I'm going to Chris Cuomo my way out and just say it's bullshit. Dave, does this lead anywhere? Does this take Trump out of the running? Does Trump get arrested? Does this verdict coming right at the same time as U.S. Weaponry bombing Russia from Ukraine, those happening on the same day have anything to do with each other? Is one a mask for the other? And which one is which? I don't even know what to think anymore. Is Trump going down? Is Trump the Antichrist? There's so many ways this could go. These motherfuckers are making me trust Trump more than I feel comfortable doing. I don't like doing it. I don't want to do it. But this is bullshit. Am I wrong?
I think some things can be true at the same time, dude. Most likely, here's my take. Trump will serve a purpose when he is elected this coming election. He's going to be elected, right?
Yeah.
He is not a savior. He is not a hero, but he is going to manage over the fire sale. He's going to make the boomers feel at ease. He's going to give people what they want, that old-fashioned patriotism. Like we've been demoralized for so long. The left stuff, the woke shit is just like, it's so awful.
Yeah.
That like we will beg for it. Like look at me. I'll only speak for myself. But there is something that I recognize as fucked up that I am like, okay, yeah, I know he did Operation Warp Speed, but like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Like now we have to choose the lesser of four evils. That's where we're at. And some people make a good argument for it being Trump because Chase Oliver ain't getting elected, and RFK probably ain't getting elected, and Trump, between Trump and Biden, one of them is saying, I'm going to free Ross, have a libertarian in cabinet. I'm a libertarian now, he claims, which is obviously not true, but I am a libertarian. I'm going to do this and that for libertarians. He's making a good case. He's selling it. He's probably not going to do any of it, but what does anybody else have to offer at this point?
Yeah, man. And I'm not, I've been called a Republican a lot and worse, a lot. But I've never voted for a Republican for president. And in fact, I voted for the Libertarian candidate the past 12 fucking years.
Yeah.
Just let's try. And it was, you know what I was doing though, man? Because it's a blue state, guaranteed blue victory here, right? And there's only a couple, whatever, electoral votes.
Yeah.
Like I'm able to kind of virtue signal and have a protest vote. That's literally what it is. It's a protest vote that kind of signifies that I lean this way. But for most people in America, the Libertarian Party box is just protest vote. Yeah. I don't like these things. Protest vote.
Well, the problem with Chase and Mike Tremont, especially with Chase's like woke leaning, it's like you're becoming less and less of a protest vote when you are supporting the establishment narratives.
Bro, they voided that for me. You are no longer. You cannot be. You're open borders, kid transing. His tweet from 2020 about how the vax cards are just like reminders from your doctor or whatever to like, here your appointment's coming up. It was just like so disgusting.
Wait, like the vaccine cards that you're supposed to carry around to get into places?
Yeah.
Those are just reminders to get your vaccine,
exactly.
Not like the mark of the beast to get you into public society again.
But this is really what comes to the heart of it. And this is the core of that whole ticket. It's not just him, but these guys both failed at the most important thing in recent history, the biggest test of liberty. They both failed at it. They both failed to understand what the threat even is, or unless they're lying, unless they really do and they're just complete Fed frauds. If you can't just be like, well, you have at this point, 2024, come out and go, we just believe as libertarians that in a free market, you have a choice if you want to get a vaccine or not. This is unacceptable. Yeah. This is completely unacceptable. And they're both on that tip. It's a complete joke, but we can point and laugh at it. So
yes, you should have the ability to decide. And but that's not really the discussion that we're having.
There's no
here.
such thing as a free market vaccine, motherfucker. These is fascist motherfuckers. You don't understand. These guys don't fundamentally understand, and they trust their doctor. Yeah. These fucking no. This is unbelievable. We're in this place.
Yeah, it'll be fun though. I mean, there's a lot of fun that's definitely going to come out of this, and already has. And we're only like a week and a half into this thing. But speaking of trusting people or not trusting people, I just want to be clear here. I'm not endorsing Donald Trump like Angela McArdle definitely did, as the internet is screeching about, or as the Libertarian Party at large definitely did, or the Mises Caucus, or whatever everybody is saying.
Thinking about it.
I'm not endorsing him. I didn't even endorse Rechtenwald. I didn't endorse anybody. Joe Exotic is the closest that I came to an endorsement, really. And now that Donald Trump is a felon, he's kind of like competing with Joe Exotic for the incarcerated vote and who is more thug life. But I just want to remind any boomers out there, love you. I know QAnon was rough for all of us. Just remember who we're working with here, and evangelical vote or whatever y'all get lumped into. Here's your guy when asked about his relationship with God.
This is Sharon from Alabama, and I think her question actually
of course
ties
it's
into what we
Sharon.
were just talking about. How do you do this? And I know that you've said before that you've been sustained by the prayers of lots of Americans. I've seen pictures of people praying over you.
It's incredible, actually.
Her question is, she says you've been faced with so much adversity. And
amazing, such great prayers,
years.
really.
What's your relationship with God like, and how do you pray? That's Sharon from Alabama.
Okay, so I think it's good. I do very well with the evangelicals. I love the evangelicals.
Hold on. What's your relationship with God like? I think it's good. I do, because Christians vote for me. So my relationship with God is good because my politics are working real great with the Christians. Like, whoa, just straight out the gate. Oh, my relationship with God is good because I'm really good at what I do.
This is a guy who's never prayed.
Right? Have you followed any of the like Donnie Darkin and these other folks on the internet who are making the claim that Donald Trump is actually the Antichrist?
No, but that's great. I want to dive into that.
We need to get somebody on and dig into that soon, because they make they make a decent argument. And as somebody who likes the conspiracies, especially the biblical ones, it's a fun time. We might have to do that soon. But
let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So more from the Antichrist here on his relationship with God.
And I have more people saying they pray for me. I can't even believe it. And they are so committed, and they're so believing. They say, "Sir, you're going to be okay. I pray for you every night." I mean, everybody, almost. I can't say everybody, but almost everybody that sees me, they say it. It's such a beautiful thing. You know what?
Almost everybody that sees Donald Trump tells him that they pray for him every night. And not everybody. I can't say everybody, but almost everybody. It's like this entire thing. The question, if you recall, was, what is your relationship with God like? And he's like, everybody prays for me, so I'm great.
Everybody loves me. Yep. It's amazing.
My relationship with God? Oh, I look him in the mirror every morning and say, "You're doing great, God. Keep going."
What's a beautiful thing, too? When you look at all of this bad stuff going on, they have nothing to look up to. They have no God. They have no anything. They kill people.
God,
they
dude.
beat people. They push people into subways.
And I provide this wonderful thing for them.
There. Religion is such a great thing. It keeps you, there's something to be good about.
Ooh, keeps you what?
You want to be good. You want to, it's so important. And I don't know if it's explained right. I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
You're not. You're not explaining it right. Let me just clear the air there. Like, it's almost like he's trying to get the Dave Smith spiel on, like, if you don't have an authority, like a spiritual authority, I think Rick kind of leans into it a little bit too, like the spiritual warfare and shit. Dave Smith has touched on, like, if you don't have some sort of morality above yourself, something to look up to, then the government becomes your God. He's trying to make that point and doing it in such a way that's like, well, they don't have God, so they don't have anything. I can't say that the government's bad because I'm about to be the leader of the government, and I'm going to be bad, and I'm going to be bad, but people pray for me. So they pray, they send all the best prayers to God. The big guy, I call him the man upstairs, the man in the mirror, as some people say. Yeah, God loves. It's laughable that we're, again, to this point, because it was laughable in 2016 when this is the guy. Like, this is the counterculture, the guy who can barely string a sentence together without sounding like a toddler. It's not great, and it's the best that we've got. And I blame that on everybody but myself, because I didn't even vote for Joe Jorgensen.
Bro, I mean, he's obviously, like I said earlier, yeah, like Trump is a liar. He's lying right now.
Clearly.
And
it's like when he read
lying about the worst shit. Like that is
2 Corinthians. Like, every time he tries to pander to Christians, it's the most cringy shit, and they still eat it up. Like, he read, like, he talked about baby Jesus in the manger on Christmas because he had to. And it's like, it sounds like somebody who's never even heard of Christianity before, like, opened a children's book and was like, well, you got to appeal to that demographic, motherfucker. And he's like, I got this. Let's go.
Dude, it was like 8 years ago that they did that one interview, and the guys were like, can you just give us one passage? He's like, they're all great. I don't really, have one that I really enjoy.
It's so hard to pick a favorite, really. They're such great words
amazing.
In that book.
You'd think that in 8 years he would have brushed up on that or something, but that's.
I just gotta say, he has not won over the libertarian vote. He has won over the Christian vote, and he panders better to libertarians than he does to Christians. And y'all keep eating that shit up just because he's a Republican. So that's on y'all. If you vote for the Antichrist, that's on you.
No, but when you have something like that, you want to be good. You want to go to heaven. Okay, you want to go to heaven. If you don't have heaven, you almost say, what's the reason? Why do I have to be good? Let's not be good. What difference does it make? Right? Or they try
oh
to
my
get
God,
here.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
An obvious atheist, just complete,
which is fine. Which is fine with me. If he was honest about that, if he came out and said, I don't really believe in God, but I'm going to do this and this and this for you. This is my application for the job. I'd be like, I don't care what you believe. Clearly, you don't believe that anyway. You don't have to try and pretend like you do. Just do the job. How are you going to do the job? Release Ross? You going to end the wars? You going to do this shit? Okay, we can talk. I don't care, but it's amazing how many people eat that up.
Let's examine that for just a second, though. I'm sure he's been an atheist his whole life, at least the whole, what he's been all about. He's been a corporate salesman his whole life. But think about, like, when Americans are polled regarding like what kind of minorities they would accept, for running for president, like they require somebody that you're religious. They would even like tolerate Muslims and whatever, but atheists is like at the bottom of the list. Like they would not tolerate an atheist president right now. Very unpopular. So to be so popular amongst Christians and to be an atheist is
Clearly.
kind of by definition clearly an atheist, right?
Yep.
So you're either your argument is, okay, well, he's doing that for good. He's an atheist who needs to, like whatever, Jesus is using this person who's an atheist. Is that your excuse? I've heard
Jesus chose this man
Right,
who's
right.
currently like, I don't care that he
He's
paid off a stripper. He
Right.
paid a stripper to keep her mouth shut. Like that happened. And I don't care. But for the evangelical community to be like, this man is chosen by God, just disregard the 12 marriages and the paying a stripper to keep her mouth shut stuff. Like, and that's the least of it. But yeah, even if you go with the mainstream narrative, an evangelical is, I would imagine, still looking at this and being like, well, he's not Biden. That's it. He's not Biden.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing, right? We're like, we recognize that you're a Jersey, you ski in your jeans. You get it. But that's all we got.
It's sad, but it's fun. Makes for a good show. Now, other things that are pandery and awful, celebrities are talking about Trump again. And when celebrities come out and make a group video together, it's going to be fucking retarded. So let's laugh at this for a second.
Obligation to be a part of that decision. You might think it's not important. You might think you're not important.
But that's not true. And the only way we can prove that to you is by having lots of famous people.
Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots of famous people.
Just a shit ton of famous people.
But you only get this many famous people together if the issue's
one that truly matters to all of us.
So it starts out sounding like a joke. It sounds like a parody of what they're about to do. Just a shit ton of famous people being real sad. And it sounds like it's going to be like a troll, like a joke. It's not. It's exactly what they're making fun of also. But to them, the point is, you respect us, right? And we all agree that politics should go this way instead of that way. Therefore, get the tear ducts, get the acting going, and let's just do another round of vote or die. Let's do it.
or ecological crisis or
a racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Oh!
Do we really want to...
Go ahead.
Don Cheadle. I mean, going for it.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the black guy. Do you want to say this line? Yeah, probably. It's probably best.
Can I say that? Can I have the racist line? Because that's my favorite. It's my go-to.
Give nuclear weapons to a man whose signature move is firing.
Firing
things?
Have you seen this TV show where this guy likes firing people? Yeah. Do you want him to? Oh my God. That's incredible.
If we're just playing the Biden versus Trump card here, they had to go with that line, that just cheesy nonsense line. Well, he fires things, so he shouldn't have the nuclear codes. Well, that dude's asleep and pooping his pants over there. And also is firing not the nukes, but firing missiles into Russia, trying to start World War III as we speak. So we couldn't go with the guy. We don't want to give the nuclear codes to the guy who didn't start more wars. Obviously, that would be crazy. Let's go with this guy, because that guy over there says firing a lot. Yeah. It's amazing.
But we can end this nightmare before it begins.
We can save the day.
For our children.
For our children.
For our children.
For our communities.
For our communities.
For our communities.
For America.
For America.
Is she crying?
America.
Yeah.
All of
tearing
us.
up.
All of us.
All of us.
We cannot pretend both sides are equally unfavorable.
We can't say one vote doesn't matter.
Your vote.
Like, I don't even know who this white bitch is, but she's getting more emotional as it goes on.
She's Chrissy Seaver from Growing Pains.
Oh, I never watched it because I
Back
wasn't
in the
allowed to
day.
watch things. But yeah, she is. She's trying to make a comeback in her acting. She's really stepping her game up and getting the waterworks going. And keep in mind, all of these famous people whose opinions you're supposed to respect are actors. They are actors who started their video with, how do we get you to pay attention? We get a shit ton of famous people. That's literally what they said in their own video, which is what made it sound like a joke. And then they proved that it is a joke because they, turns out, are more comedians than they are actors.
Vote matters.
Your vote matters.
It affects everything.
Not just the presidency, but the Senate,
The House.
the local officials.
Immigration.
Wait, hold on. Is that the first time we've seen? Do you know who this woman is?
She's definitely an Avenger. I don't know which.
In this, she's got a heavy Latino accent, and she's the one who had to say immigration. Don't know who she is, but we got a Mexican woman in there just to go immigration, and then move back to the pretty white folk.
Immigration.
Student debt. Common sense gun laws.
The Supreme Court. See, this isn't just an election. It's
Just buzzword.
Right.
How
The
about
Supreme
buzzword?
Court.
Have you heard of the Supreme Court?
It's
scary, isn't it?
supreme.
Can you imagine if Donald Trump was president while the Supreme Court was Supreme Courting or whatever the Supreme Court does? Can you dumb little insignificant human who's not a celebrity understand what I'm saying when I say Donald Trump, Supreme Court?
the tipping point.
For the country.
For the world.
For your world.
For the world.
Yep. Okay.
Wow.
Beautiful. Moving.
Wow. That's a new one, right? That's not like 2016.
I'm pretty sure that's new. I had to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's new. Yeah.
So this just goes along with what I've said about, if you for anybody that wants to go into Hollywood, right, or like entertainment broadly, you have to be willing to be an influencer on behalf of the regime first, and then you can dance, monkey.
Yep.
And then you can sing. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this.
We can just
asshole.
transition right into Luke Skywalker.
Hey, I'm Mark Hamill, and I'm voting for Joby-Wan Kenobi.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, bro.
Oh.
I know this is your stuff. It's
like,
really
I don't
bad.
care if you hate Donald Trump. That's fine. I don't care if you even like Joe Biden. That's hard to believe, but fine. Pretending like Joe Biden is cool, no matter how much influence you have. Like, for all the pandering, all the celebrities, all the crying, all the everything, pretending that Joe Biden is dope. Like, bro, nobody's buying it. All you're doing, I hope the paycheck was worth it. I hope it was really fat. I hope it was very worth it. All you're doing is making yourself look sadder and sadder every post. Again, Luke Skywalker, who posted like a month ago, Joe Biden is the best president of all time, with a serious face. Now, I gotta just keep it moving because we gotta get into other things, but we do have to play something about Biden because you mentioned it earlier, Dave, and we gotta find out about Joby-Wan Kenobi and his latest droppings. But in order to do that, we have to call it Remembering Biden.
And Corn Pop was a bigger big shot. Nazi fags. You ain't black.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Now, Joe Biden, God rest his soul, has been accused of pooping his pants today. That was today, right? The D-Day thing. Pretty sure it happened this morning. Just this morning, a bunch of Republicans, dirty right-wing Republicans, are accusing this man of pooping his pants, even though it's been alleged that it's happened multiple times, including in front of the Pope. But just watch the silent video and judge for yourself. Shaking Macron's hand. Jill's there. Is he whispering to her? Nope, he's bending down to get something. Nope, he lost a contact lens. Nope, he's pooping. He's squatting again and pooping. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. I don't have the full context, and I know I can get called out for that, but my God, give me another explanation, and I will happily take it. Also, after following this event where there's a bunch of a bunch of veterans and a bunch of people there to honor them. He was whisked away by Jill Biden immediately after, where Macron, you can see Macron runs back to shake the hands of the veterans and distract the cameras from the fact that Jill Biden is leading her crippled husband away from all the action that he was there to do. The President of the United States on D-Day had a bunch of veterans sitting right behind him and did not take the time to shake their hands. There's Macron. He's just running around, distracting cameras, shaking hands.
Wow.
Like, it's one thing to say, just like Donald Trump shuffling down the wet ramp, to be like, oh, he's clearly doing that. I don't know if Joe Biden is pooping his pants here. Give me another explanation, and I'm down. But I don't know what else makes you do this.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J.
Is he looking for his ghost briefcase? Right. Is he like sitting on an invisible chair? I don't know, but I will take another explanation if you have it. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that the man clearly with dementia is pooping his pants directly in front of a bunch of veterans on the anniversary of D-Day. Dave.
I hope that, we're just dealing with some duty. But he's obviously
the
not
line
well.
of duty takes a whole new meaning today on D-Day.
Right. And, there's Jill, who just probably hates him so much, just schlepping him around, pretending
she has to hate him to let him keep doing this.
Right. Yeah. And, she was whatever, like 20 years old or younger when she was like cheating on him, helping him cheat on his wife.
Phobes says, fake super chat. Viva showed a longer video that they sat in chairs right after that clip. Sad but true. Did they?
Oh wow!
Oh.
I was wondering what I saw that clip earlier, but
did he think that he was going to be sitting down? If there are chairs there, I am fine with not giving into the same rage bait as all the all the right wing pundits. I will happily negate this. It seems like he's pooping his pants, and it's 15 seconds long. I couldn't find the actual clip, so if I'm wrong, so be it. But Jill Biden did seem to whisk him away, and if that's wrong too, I'm open to it. Otherwise, I'm going to assume he pooped his pants because it seems more plausible, but I don't know. Sorry, I cut you off, Dave.
No, but I think we covered him. But yeah, whatever you're keeling over for, please just retire, sir.
Yeah, and even if he
step up.
Even if he didn't poop his pants, that's okay. Same as Donald Trump. If he didn't shuffle down the ramp the wrong way, that's fine, because he did plenty of other bad things. On that note, Biden administration offers mass amnesty to migrants as it quietly terminates 350,000 asylum cases. And some more headlines. Biden breaks the law to give millions of migrants work permits. NIH scientists made $710 million in royalties from drug makers, a fact they tried to hide. So, there's still stuff. There's still stuff with Biden. The amnesty thing was the main thing I wanted to bring up. 350,000 asylum cases that he has given. But here the Republicans are talking about pooping. I'm no better. If it happened, I'm down, but there's still clearly worse things. Any thoughts before I play one more Biden clip and then we just put this to bed?
No, give it to me.
Okay. Here's Biden allegedly not pooping his pants, but just responding to things in nonsensical ways. And just keep in mind, Joseph Robinette Biden is our president, the man with the nuclear codes, but he has never said you're fired, so we should trust this guy.
Let me ask you about what Vladimir Putin said last night about this authorization of American weapons inside Russia. He said the supply of high-precision weapons to Ukraine for strikes on Russian territory is direct participation in this war. He went on to say that this is the way to serious problems, and again talked about Russia's nuclear capabilities. Does that concern you?
I've known him for over 40 years. He's concerned me for 40 years. He's not a decent man. He's a dictator, and he's struggling to make sure he holds this country together while still keeping this assault going.
I mean, just read the expression on that man's face and tell me that he's never pooped his pants since he's been an adult. Just tell me that.
This is all pure doublespeak too. This is how these demons operate and speak what they do.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. He's holding his democracy together as I fucking
40 years. And the point that Jack Posobiec, take him or leave him, pointed out, Biden just said he's known Putin for 40 years. Russia was still the USSR in the 80s, and Putin was not in office. So, the whole Russiagate thing, what do you think they would do if Trump said, I have known Putin for 40 years. I have known him since the USSR, and since before I was in office, I have known him, and he's been a bad dude. What do you think they do with that?
I've known this KGB agent since the 1980s. Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one thing to dislike Donald Trump. It's one thing to even like Joe Biden. But to pretend like this guy isn't a disaster for your party is just dishonest. If I was a Democrat, if I was a hardcore left pro, no. And we've got Mark Hamill out there being like, Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best president this country has ever seen. Just tell me that you're bought and paid for without telling me that you're bought and paid for, because no self-respecting individual of any caliber can look at this guy and be like, best guy we've got. Yes.
Bro, wouldn't that be funny if the chair of the DNC was just like Angela, I don't know, check out Chase Oliver or something, because
they would have to be
really, right. This is awful. Yeah, everybody who's a progressive should be ashamed of themselves for promoting that. It's terrible.
I want to take an honest moment to thank Joe Biden. Honestly, thank you, Joe Biden, for forcing their hand, for insisting. I don't know who's pulling the strings to insist this, but for insisting that you're the candidate and you're going to do it and they don't have any other choice. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for not bowing out, because, that would make this much more of an uphill battle if somebody who wasn't shitting their pants in front of veterans was the candidate. Because Donald Trump probably can't beat a whole lot, but he can beat Joe Biden pretty easily, I think. And that's the two big ticket items that we've got here. And then we've got RFK, who's, saying some good things and some bad things. Chase Oliver saying some good things and some bad things. The lesser of four evils, what we're dealing with here.
Though, dude? Just look at the map. We'll do a little political wargaming. RFK is going to pull mostly from boomer classic Kennedy liberals.
Sure.
And Chase Oliver is going to he's going to pull the new woke liberal progressive.
Yeah, he's going to pull the millennial liberals and the Gen Z.
Trump is going to have he's going to win big, real big. Okay, we're talking 100
from jail.
Votes. Right. I mean, you're creating a
Day one, I pardon Ross Ulbricht immediately after pardoning myself.
Right, dude. I'm ready for that. Do it.
Fuck it.
It sounds like the way.
Yeah. Now, we do have to get out of here, and we do have to give some final thoughts. But, Dave, where can people find you before we lament our woes to Steve?
Yeah, follow my YouTube channel. Got to build it back up. And
got to build back better?
Got to build back better, baby, on the old YouTube. And obviously, Dave versus Goliath 1 on Twitter, please.
Yes. And we will do at least a bit of an after party, because we've got a lot of things to talk about. It is a very important month, a big month to be proud of, and we will talk about the most proud month of all months. But before we do that, follow me at TSIDpod on Twitter, or email me all your own woes at dan@tsidpod.com. That's my email. I remember it. Now we are going to go, and we are going to talk about proud things behind the paywall. Patreon.com/The System Is Down.
Couple of proud boys. Let's go.
Yes, all the proud boys and girls and Z's. But before that, let's talk to Steve.
Hey, I'm checking in.
Hey, Steve.
Tell me, what's going on?
So much, Steve. The Libertarian Party is endorsing Donald Trump, I'm pretty sure. And Michael Rechtenwald is the most emo libertarian that I've ever heard, accidentally. And Chase Oliver is our candidate. Yeah, 100 milligrams is 100 milligrams, but that doesn't give you. That doesn't make you worse than whatever the Chase Oliver camp is putting out right now. I'm sorry. I'm torn. I'm torn, Steve. I'm torn between money and principle. As a libertarian, as we always are, I'm torn. And it's all because of politics, Steve. I don't know what to do with myself. I do know that Donald Trump is kind of a lame piece of shit. And he's what we've got.
I'm ready to start winning. I want to start winning, Steve. Please.
I want to win so much. No, Steve, start over.
Tell me, what's going on?
Well, Chris Cuomo, on a positive note, got his ass handed to him by Dave Smith of the Libertarian Party. Or is he of the Libertarian Party? Has he bailed from the Libertarian Party because we nominated the wrong candidate? I don't know.
Lockdowners must atone, Steve.
Yeah, I don't know. Fauci apparently lied about everything that ruined our children's lives and ruined our lives, and he made it up, Steve. 6 feet. Why 6? It seems like a very oddly specific number to make up if you were going to make something up. But if you weren't going to make it up, if you had any sort of scientific backing behind it, that'd be great. But we don't. But we're still the liars. We're still the dishonest ones. And Chris Cuomo is to be commended. Fauci is the best. Get your vax.
Oliver Termott.
Who the fuck Oliver Termott? I've never heard of him.
You look great.
You look great too, Steve. And you all look great in the chats. Come join us in the chats in the aftermath, and we'll see what damage we can do over there to get banned. Until next time, question everything, stay uncomfortable, be bad, have fun, and I'll talk to you someday, God willing. God. You know God. He voted for Trump.
Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.